Imagine finding out that having high cholesterol in your 40s increases your risk for Alzheimer's by like 66%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But then having high cholesterol in your 80s suddenly just doesn't seem to matter at all. It is this massive biological contradiction.
It really is.
So today we're taking a deep dive into a stack of medical literature. We've got the 2024 Lancet report, a 40-year Kaiser Permanente study, and some really fresh genetic research.
Tons of data.
Yeah, tons of it. And we're using all of this to answer a vital question, which is high LDL linked to dementia? And, just a reminder, we are not doctors.
Right. Definitely always good to point that out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Our mission here is just to help you unpack the timeline, the genetics, and the actual biological mechanics of how cholesterol impacts your long-term brain health.
And I mean, the timeline is really what makes this so fascinating. The Lancet actually just recently added high LDL to its list of top modifiable dementia risk factors.
Which is pretty wild because we usually just associate LDL with heart attacks.
We do, yeah. But in the brain, excess cholesterol creates this state of chronic hypoperfusion.
Hypoperfusion.
Yeah, so essentially it restricts blood flow so severely that the brain is chronically starved of oxygen. And that oxygen deprivation, it sparks systemic inflammation.
Oh, I see.
And that actually correlates strongly with the buildup of amyloid and tau proteins.
And those are like the classic hallmarks of Alzheimer's, right?
Exactly.
So instead of just thinking about, clogged pipes in your heart, it's more like the brain's supply lines are being blockaded, like sludge just backing up a house's plumbing, slowly starving the brain.
That's a perfect analogy because without enough oxygen getting through, the neurons literally cannot maintain their synapses.
Ugh.
And those are the critical connections they use to communicate.
Wow. But wait, that brings us back to that contradiction I mentioned earlier, right? The cholesterol paradox from that Kaiser Permanente study.
Yes, the paradox.
Right. So if borderline elevated LDL in midlife spikes your Alzheimer's risk by 66%, why does that newer MedRec of research show that link just, disappearing in late life?
Well, it's because of what we call reverse causation.
Reverse causation.
Yeah. High cholesterol isn't suddenly harmless in your 80s. Rather, your body's cholesterol levels naturally plummet right before dementia sets in.
Wait, really? Why would they drop?
Due to subclinical disease, when the body starts failing quietly behind the scenes, losing muscle mass, altering its metabolism, just entering early stages of frailty, the liver actually produces much less cholesterol.
Oh, wow. So an 80-year-old with plunging LDL might look super heart healthy on paper.
Exactly. But in reality, their brain and body might already be in the silent early stages of decline.
That makes those late-life blood panels incredibly deceptive.
They really can be.
But I have to wonder, how much does this lifestyle factor even matter if you are holding a bad genetic hand? Like if you have the APOE4 gene, which is the most famous Alzheimer's gene,
Right.
aren't you just destined for cognitive decline regardless of what your LDL levels are in your 40s?
That is a great question. A recent study by Wingo and colleagues looked right at that dynamic. And they found that LDL builds up dementia pathology entirely independently of the APOE gene.
Wait, independently?
Completely independent. High cholesterol damages the brain all on its own. But, and this is a big but, if you do carry that APOE4 gene, high LDL becomes absolutely catastrophic.
Because APOE4 degrades the blood-brain barrier. Right. I was reading that normally that barrier acts like a high-security checkpoint keeping toxins out.
Yeah.
But APOE4 essentially leaves the gate unguarded.
Yes. With that checkpoint compromised, all that excess LDL slips right through the leaky barrier and straight into the brain tissue.
Yikes.
And once it's in there, it undergoes oxidative stress. So you can think of it like this rapid biological rusting.
Rusting in your brain.
Yeah, which severely accelerates the degeneration of the brain's white matter, the critical wiring that connects different brain regions.
And the genetic research also points out that lifelong exposure to high LDL specifically spikes the risk for dementia with Lewy bodies, right?
And it does, yeah.
Which is this distinct type of cognitive decline that heavily impacts movement, mood, and even triggers hallucinations. So it shows cholesterol doesn't just broadly damage the brain, it targets specific neural vulnerabilities, depending on your unique DNA.
Exactly. Which means managing midlife cholesterol is not just about keeping your heart ticking. I mean, it's about actively preserving your brain's structural integrity so those neural pathways survive into your 80s.
It completely shifts how you view a routine blood test. Like if cholesterol drops naturally right before dementia onset due to that physical frailty we talked
Right,
about,
stirs causation, yeah.
right, then it makes you wonder, could tracking a sudden, unexplained dip in late-life LDL actually become a future early warning alarm for cognitive decline? Like, instead of doctors seeing a low number as good health, it's actually a red flag.
That is a really provocative thought. It completely flips the narrative on its head.
Well, plenty for you all to think about at home. This is part of a series called Elton's Health Hacks. Please follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, or YouTube for the latest health tips. And the name of the series, again, is Elton's Health Hacks.